Hey, Scott Spears here with you on Election Night 2012, November 6th, 2012, joined via telephone by the legendary talk show host himself, columnist, all-around good guy, author, everything good about the talk show industry, Dick Cavett. Dick, how are you?
Well, I feel all right. I look okay.
Dick, the election is progressing tonight. It's very interesting so far. New Hampshire, Wisconsin, Michigan, all in the Obama category, and it's not even 11 o'clock Eastern time yet.
Well, you know how I hate nothing more than to disappoint you, but I had to take a break from it because I just couldn't take anymore. And so now you're informing me of this stuff. I was going to turn it back on at about 10 o'clock, which is what it almost is now. No. What time is it now?
It's getting close to 10. It's about 2 of.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
I had to, I got an overdose, and I had to turn away and go outside and get some fresh air.
Well,
And hope that we're not going to be still wondering who's president by December, which is a possibility, as you know, if certain things statistically go certain ways.
Dick, it's very interesting right now because Florida, which most polls I saw, it was definitely a battleground state, but it almost always favored Romney. Right now, maybe not the case.
Yeah, what happened, do they think?
I've heard different things down in Florida, and I'm not sure what's going on down there.
Doesn't a lot of it have to be the Latino vote, which probably felt a little, less than attended to, and probably decided they were among the famous 47% that Mr. Romney was so stupid to say about that part of the country that would never, the chiselers and the welfare people and so on. I have a feeling that he probably ignited certain voters that way that might never have voted if it weren't for his dumb-headed move.
Well, and I tell you, Dick, the other big move here, I sit in Ohio right now. Battleground state certainly is not called for anybody yet, but Obama has quite a commanding lead at 10 p.m. Eastern time.
Do they know that for sure with so many of the votes not counted? I would never be one to question our brilliant electoral system.
Dick, somebody should do a show sometime on how this is done. We only care every 4 years, really, but somebody should do something on that. Find out who counts these votes.
Certain things could be corrected in the meantime, and then it seems like they aren't. They come up again 4 years later, and people say, "Hasn't anybody done anything about this? This stupid electoral college, this dumb way of counting votes."
Well,
it's on the same level as the horrible story today about a school of people voting. I think it's Staten Island or somewhere where they're freezing and out of gas and out of water and out of electricity, and they opened up a big schoolhouse, and people got there in the dark, and there was no heat because the generator, no one had put gas in it.
Oh, well,
And people blowing on their fingers, and I'm so badly organized in my life that I hardly can criticize others. But there are so many people who are not, who know how to do these things, who are competent. Where are they when the crunch comes?
That's a very good question.
I don't expect you to have the full answer.
Well, Dick, I'll tell you something I do want the full answer on. I sit here in Ohio. You're in New York State, hit by that terrible Hurricane Sandy. What are things like there?
Say again?
What are things like in the aftermath of Hurricane Sandy?
Now?
Yeah.
Where I am right now on the end of Long Island, we're waiting for a lovely nor'easter to come in and sock everything again. Well, on this end of Long Island, off Montauk, there are houses that had several hundred feet of sand and beach in front of them that are now cantilevered over nothing.
Why did that happen, Dick? Is it the philosophy that it was global warming, or was it just a freak accident?
Well, who was that dumbhead who said God intended rapes? Some people would blame him. Others would blame poor management over the years. Do you have to be of the Holocaust denier mentality to deny global warming? I would think so.
It's getting to that point, I think, in most people's mind. You know, speaking of...
It's like the theory of evolution, they say.
Oh,
The great Donovan Miller on my show said that's like saying the theory of gravity.
Well, where does irony fall in this? Because the diet expert dying on your show, I mean, that's irony.
Yes, I guess that's almost the definition of irony.
Yeah, well, hey, somebody has a sense of humor.
Irony is like when the special fire alarm system you put in your house short circuits and burns the house down. That very thing happened to a comedy writer friend of mine. And to have a health expert die at your taping is probably almost a textbook definition of irony.
You know, Dick, I want you to repeat just two things we talked about earlier on because I want the audience to hear them. Your love of being on the Nixon hater list.
Well, I didn't actually have the honor. I actually, that was slightly a fiction. There are those who say there never was an official enemies list, but there was a list published by somebody who compiled the known enemies. And the people that the White House had, in fact, designated as enemies. I don't know that there was any one list, but I know Paul Newman said he would happily hand back his Oscars for the honor of being on the Nixon's enemies list, which he was. And a lot of strange people you might not expect to be there were, but I found little to admire in the great unindicted co-conspirator, and I offended him greatly because John Lennon asked if I would testify that he needn't be booted out of the country by the Nixon and his henchmen. And also, he wasn't happy with the debate that took place on my show between John Kerry, right, fresh back from Vietnam, and a man whose name I've forgotten, that the White House coached, denied they had done so, and denied they had ever met him. And probably Colson and Haldeman and other lovelies coached the guy. He did pretty well, but they felt that it was biased against him.
Well, Dick, since we're making...
There was one thing I could say for him. He did give his wife a kidney. Probably not his own, but...
Well, Dick, since we probably haven't offended all Republicans yet, why don't you tell us again why you're for Barack Obama tonight, President Obama?
I don't remember telling you that before.
Oh, you didn't?
I just can't believe that anyone who, a politician as shoddy as Mitt Romney could capture half the country's vote.
So then the question begs, are you a supporter...
What about the tax returns that we can't see?
Well, what do you make of that, Dick?
What about women getting equal pay? What about women who can't have contraception if that zealot Ryan gets into power?
Well, here's the thing, Dick, then let me ask it point blank. Are you a supporter of Barack Obama?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then, we got to it anyway.
That wasn't so hard, was it?
No, that wasn't bad. Do you want to mention one...
Yes, of course he had disappointments and was disappointing in various ways. But he's been in there 4 years. Romney is not presidential. He's salesman-like. He's a plutocrat who's people have not said no to and doesn't know how to have no said to him. Doesn't have any more sensitivity to the middle class than to talk about his wife's 2 Cadillacs and his elevator for his cars. Someday maybe we'll forgive him for strapping the dog on the roof of the car, but there's really serious faults in him, and so obvious and so dishonest and so face-changing.
But how do you really
great.
feel? How do you really feel about Mitt Romney, Dick? Let's lay it all on the table.
I have to get off the phone and feed my dog.
What, Dick? Can I ask you one more thing?
As soon as I get him strapped to the roof of the car, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Dick, the Massachusetts, where Romney was governor, has already gone Obama. Michigan, where Romney was born and his father was a politician, is Obama. And Wisconsin, where Ryan is going Obama. What do you make of that?
I don't know. I'm politics. I once said to one of the members of the Chicago Seven, Jerry Rubin, who told me on my show, you have to drop everything about your show but politics. And I said, politics bores my ass off, Rubin. And in most ways it does. There's so many more interesting things in life. As Christopher Hitchens used to say, the glories of literature, and so many and athletic events and sports and art and things, and all the dreary sciences. Nothing in my mind beats politics.
Well, I have two things I want to...
I don't want to hurt Chris Matthews' feelings.
I want to slip two things in, Dick. Your home state of Nebraska has went for Romney, so we do want to mention that Nebraska has went for Romney. And
yeah, Nebraska. I figured they would. They're pretty consistent in that regard.
And the other thing, and I hope I heard this. Well, I hope I heard this wrong, but we've been flipping through all the channels, getting through all the reports here. I'm almost positive, and I want somebody out there who's listening or watching to correct me if I'm wrong. But somebody on Fox, I hope so. Somebody on Fox News tonight said when Wisconsin went for Obama, when they could project that he had won that the reason that Obama is winning is because the white vote is now the minority vote compared to black, Latino, and Hispanic voters.
That'd be interesting if true.
Do you think that's what's going to pull?
Isn't that a checkable fact?
I think it's true, but is it something that a news person should be saying? I think that's where the line needs to be drawn, don't you think?
I don't know. It doesn't offend me, particularly if it's true. But I can remember a racist remark made by a limousine driver in London the first time I was there. I'm thrilled to be in England. You know the expression wog or woggy in British racist slang mostly means people residents of the Middle East. But they also used it in the Raj. They used it against Indians. They were woggies too. And Reg, this Cockney driver, and I'll have to get off on this one, said, they're pulling down all the buildings in old London, and we only want one more woggy to be in a minority. So that was it was a charming old character out of Dickens, so you couldn't really get mad at him. But this can happen. Obviously this can happen. Yes, the Anglo-Saxon race can be easily outnumbered given time.
Well, I tell you, Dick Cavett, you may not be all that interested in politics, but I love having you here anytime, and I always feel it necessary. Well, I always feel it necessary to kind of pay homage to you when you're on the phone, because you were one of the guys, maybe the guy, that I think we all look up to. We're never going to achieve your greatness, but we'll try. We'll keep trying.
Well, keep at it, and God knows one day you might, and I will be very sorry.
Thank you, Dick.
Okay.
Take care. Bye-bye.